Welcome back to the Booster Archive. Next up, we have our pack of Fate Reforged. So Fate Reforged is really interesting. For those of you that don't know, and unless this is several years from now and you're watching this, I think you will know that Fate Reforged is sort of cool in that the whole block was centered around a time travel sort of mechanic, story-wise, where Sarkhan goes back in time to try and save Ugin to help stop the Eldrazi. And what that means is when he does in fact save Ugin, we see a shift in the timeline of what happened between the difference between what happened in Khan's block, or what happened in Khans of Tarkir, and the world we see in Dragons of Tarkir. And this is well represented in the set by we see a sort of crossover of some Khans mechanics and then some Dragons of Tarkir mechanics. So let's open it up and get started. And see if we can find one of the previously extinct dragons of Tarkir. Man, these packs are just ripping open, which is not good when I try and put them in the binder. And you're going to be a pain. Alright. Because I do put the pack wrapper in the binder with it, sort of an identification. And probably, in a week or so, the next set of packs after this, I'm probably going to do, once I have a full binder, I'm going to go through and just give you a quick sort of look at sort of where we're at now with everything, if you haven't especially been keeping up with all the videos, which again, these aren't really put out for anyone but myself for personal record. So, yeah. Alright, let's get started here with Hooded Assassin. For 2 in the black, we get a Human Assassin. That's a 1/2. And when he enters the battlefield, choose one, put a 1/1 counter on Hooded Assassin, and destroy target creatures dealt damage this turn. Sort of part of a common cycle where you either put a counter on it or get an interesting effect. We have Ethereal Ambush, a card I really enjoyed, actually. For 3 green and blue, you get an instant, which manifests the top 2 cards of your library. So Manifest is sort of like Morph, in that the creatures you would manifest act in the same way as Morph creatures, only if it's a creature, you can pay its mana cost to flip up, otherwise it's stuck face down. Or if it's also a morph creature that you manifested, you could pay the morph cost. So that's a pretty interesting effect here. I really enjoyed Manifest as a mechanic overall, although it could lead to some confusing things if you're not keeping track of what's a morph and what's a manifest. Abzan Advantage. For 1 and a white, we have an instant. Target player sacrifice an enchantment and bolster 1. Next we have Refocus. For 1 and a blue, instant, untap target creature, draw a card. Premium removal spell, Douse in Gloom. For 2 and a black, instant, Douse in Gloom deals 2 damage to target creature, and you gain 2 life. Wool of the Naga. For 4 blue, in an instant, with the Soul Time mechanic, Delve, and tap up to 2 target creatures. Those creatures you control, those creatures untap during their control's next untap step. And so how Delve works is, you can exile a card while you cast this to pay for a colorless mana. So sort of like Convoke, but with your graveyard. Gore Swine. For 2 and a red, we get a 4/1 Boar. Whisper of the Wilds. For 1 and a green, you get a 0/2 Human Shaman with tap to add green to your mana pool. Or with Ferocious, you can tap to add 2 green to your mana pool, and you only use this ability if you have a creature with power 4 or greater. So this is, again, Delve, and this is the teamer mechanic of the, as you would see in Khans of Tarkir. It's not one of the ones that was changed to represent, sort of show off the upcoming set, which would be Bolster in Abzan instead of Outlast, and Dash instead of Raid in the case of Mardu. We have Mardu Runemark, part of a cycle here. For 2 and a red, we get a creature aura. Where enchanted creature is +2/+2, and enchanted creature has first strike as long as you control a white or black permanent. And all of these would give +2/+2, and then another ability if you control a permanent that was in another color of the clan that's represented. Ambush Krodig. For 5 and a green, you have a 5/5 insect with trample, and when Ambush Krodig enters the battlefield, return another creature you control to its owner's hand. For first uncommon, we have Ward Scale Dragon. For 4 white. It's a 4/4. As long as he's attacking, defending player can't cast spells. So pretty good guy there. Very fun card in Humble Defector. For 1 red, you get a 2/1 human rogue, where you draw 2 cards, target opponent, or you tap him to draw 2 cards, target opponent gains control of Humble Defector, activate this ability only during your turn. So sort of draw 2 cards, give them to your opponent, hopefully you have a way to kill him. Very good removal spell and limited. It's very hype sort of for constructed, but never really made a showing in Reality Shift here. For 1 and a blue, you get an instant with exile target creature. Its controller manifests the top card of his or her library. Our rare is going to be Monastery Siege. For 2 and a blue, you get an enchantment. As it enters the battlefield, choose Khans or Dragons. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card, then discard a card. Or if you choose Dragons, spells your opponent's cast that target you or a permanent you control cost 2 more to cast. And our dual land is going to be a Rugged Highland. So no fetch land here. And it works sort of like the tap land, like our Scoured Barrens in Khans of Tarkir. So it enters the battlefield tapped, you gain 1 life. And then we have a cool little manifest token here. Alright guys, that's going to be it for Fate Reforged. Stay tuned for a few days for Dragons of Tarkir. Talk to you guys later.